Have you ever thought about how quickly life can change? What if everything you believed was permanent could just disappear in a flash? Today, we're going to dive into a timeless Pashto parable about two men, a single act of kindness, and the wild unpredictability of fortune. It's a powerful story that really makes you question what it means to be truly wealthy. So the story kicks off with this one chilling line. This isn't just about feeling a little cold. This is a cold so deep, so bitter, it forces you out of your home and into the wilderness just to survive. We're starting right at the edge of desperation, and this moment is the first step on a pretty incredible journey.
All right, so let's meet our first character. His life is, to put it mildly, a constant, daily battle against poverty and the elements.
Just try to imagine a winter so harsh that every single day is a question of, will we make it? This isn't just a tough time for him, it's a full-blown crisis for his entire family. They have next to nothing, and the cold just does not let up.
This is his reality. Every single morning, he has to brace himself for that biting cold, head out into the woods, and not for some big payday, but just to find enough firewood to keep his family from freezing and maybe sell a tiny bit for food. It's a grueling, repetitive, and honestly, thankless cycle.
But then, on one of these totally routine, back-breaking trips, the pattern breaks. A small, seemingly insignificant observation is about to completely change the course of his entire life.
And this is it. It's not a chest of gold. It's not some grand miracle. He just looks up and sees a bird's nest. But it's in this exact moment, as he's looking at this little piece of nature, that his life is about to collide with someone else's.
And this is where their paths cross. A wealthy man named Hamza happens to find him in the woods. But Hamza doesn't just see a poor guy cutting wood. He really sees the depth of his struggle, and it moves him to do something. His simple offer of help becomes the spark for everything that happens next. And just like that, with that one act of kindness, the entire story just pivots. We're moving into a whole new chapter for this man, a complete 180 from where he started.
Just look at how that one bit of help blossoms. That initial support from Hamza gives him the stability he needs to start earning a real living. Before long, he saves up enough to launch his own business. But the real mark of his success? He can now give his kids an education, finally breaking that cycle of poverty for good.
The contrast here is just staggering. Think about it. The same man who was shivering in the forest just to survive is now a successful businessman. He's a provider, his family is happy, warm, secure. His life has been totally transformed.
But this story isn't just about one man's rise. Remember, it's a parable about two men. And just as one person's fortune was climbing, the other's is about to take a shocking, dramatic turn. This, right here, is the heart of the story.
So our focus swings back to Hamza, the kind man who started this whole thing. While our first guy was busy building his new life, it turns out fate had a very, very different plan in store for his benefactor.
And what's so shocking is just how fast it all unravels. Hamza starts at the absolute top, wealthy, respected, you name it. But then a sudden, devastating illness hits him. Between the medical bills and not being able to work, his entire fortune just evaporates, leaving him with absolutely nothing but his sickness.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly. Look at the perfect, almost poetic, symmetry of this reversal. One man starts with zero and climbs to wealth. The other starts with everything and falls into total poverty. It's like they literally traded places with each other.
And so, of course, they meet again. But this time, the roles are completely flipped. The once poor man, now successful and stable, runs into Hamza, the man who helped him, who is now sick and has nothing. Can you even imagine that moment? It's just so powerful, and it really puts the sheer unpredictability of life on full display.
Okay, so after all that, this incredible story of reversal, what are we supposed to take away from it? This is where we get to the core message, the whole reason this story is told.
Now, to really get the lesson, it helps to remember what a parable is, right? It's not just a story for entertainment's sake. It's a vehicle for a much deeper message, using simple characters to teach a really big lesson about morality, or in this case, faith.
And here it is, the lesson, stated right there in the story's conclusion. What the parable is saying is that things like fortune, wealth, and even health aren't ultimately in our hands. They're given, and they can be taken away by a higher power. It's a huge message about humility and faith.
So let's just boil it down. What does this all really mean?
Well, this parable is a pretty stark reminder that nothing we have is permanent. It uses this dramatic switch to get us thinking about big themes like faith and destiny, and it forces us to ask a tough question. What do we actually value when everything we own could be gone tomorrow?
And so we're left with this final question to ponder. If everything we usually connect with success, money, status, even our health, can vanish in a moment, what's left? The story doesn't give us an easy answer, but it leaves us with a challenge to figure out for ourselves what is true wealth.